Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make this adorable bear cupcake charm out of polymer clay. So first you're going to be needing a cupcake base mold. I got mine from the Etsy store Miniature Sweet in the 14mm size, but you can definitely make this charm without a cupcake base if you want to. There are plenty of tutorials here on YouTube. And just make sure when you're using the mold you cut the excess off. Then I'm just taking a brown ball of clay and making it into a dome and putting it on top of the cupcake base. Then I'm going to take some sandpaper and give the cupcake some texture. Afterwards, I'm going to take a toothbrush and give it even more texture just by using a swirling motion. Then you're going to be needing some lighter brown clay and roll it out with a roller or a pasta machine. Then you're going to be needing a heart-shaped cutter, or not a heart-shaped cutter, a flower cutter, and once you cut out a piece, flatten it out more. You don't have to use a cutter for this, you can just make the shape yourself if you don't have it. And then place it on top of the cupcake. Make sure you smooth everything out, especially the fingerprints. Then you're going to need some white clay and an icing tip, and just put the clay into the icing tip and push through. You do not need much of this for this tutorial. Then you're just going to cut it into 4 smaller pieces, and you're going to curl them. And of course you need 4 like I said. And then put some liquid clay on top of the cupcake so you can secure the whipped cream pieces. And I'm just using a ball tool to do this. You can use any tool or your finger. And if you want to, you can put more whipped cream dollops. It's all what you want to do. I just put 4 because that's the size icing tip I have. Then you're going to put some more liquid clay in the middle and put a red ball in between all of those pieces. And that's for the cherry. And then you're going to need a little brown snake of clay for the cherry stem. You could also use red for this. And attach it on there. I poked a little hole first just so it was easy for it to stay secure. Then you need a tiny green ball of clay and roll that into a teardrop shape and attach that onto the cherry just to give it some color. And then you can put an eye pin in. I secured it using liquid clay. And you're going to need some more light brown clay for the ears. Just roll them into 2 balls and flatten them down, then secure them. I'm using a lot of liquid clay in this tutorial just because the lighter clay I'm using, it's sculpey and it's not as strong, but if you're using Primo, you really don't need to use liquid clay as much. Then you're going to need some more white and flatten that down, and it's going to be for the mouthpiece. And then you can put it in between the ears. This actually took me quite a few steps, so I took some of it out. And then you're going to need a black snake, and those are for the mouthpieces too. And you're going to curl the tiny little pieces and then position them on the white. And you could also paint this on. I just prefer using clay. And then put on a piece for the nose. It's just a little black ball. Then you're going to need 2 other more black balls of clay for the eyes. And we're almost done. I just took some pink clay and gave the eyes a bit more pop by adding some blush. This is completely optional. Then I took some micro marbles and I drizzled them all over the cupcake. Lastly, I just took some gold clay and made it into a bow by curling both sides, and I made one side shorter on accident, so I had to add a bit more gold clay. And I didn't realize this was that low on the frame, so I'm sorry about that. And once you get that finished, you can put a little ball in the middle, and that hides all the little creases and stuff we did. And then you're just going to pop your cupcake out of the mold and secure the bow using some liquid clay, and then you can put it in the oven for 20 minutes at 275 degrees, and then glaze it if you'd like. So I hope you guys like this tutorial. Please rate, comment, and subscribe.